So we have seen API polling and the challenges with API polling. Then we've seen WebSockets. And then I also told you that overusing WebSockets can be a problem. So for chats, they're really good, but then people start using them for regular API calling. So they start removing API calls altogether. They start using WebSockets. And that can be a problem because overusing anything is a problem, right? And then there are security issues and problem with scaling up those WebSocket connections, which we'll talk about much later on. But for now, I want to tell you that there is another way of handling everything else except or apart from chats. So any other use case apart from chats where you would need information repeatedly from the server or some status related information, there is another way to handle it rather than WebSockets. I just want to take a quick break to tell you something important. Now, there are lots of courses for system design on the internet that teach you the basics of system design. And even when it comes to breaking down problems, they'll show you basic problems like WhatsApp, like Uber, like Netflix, breaking down these systems. But what about breaking down OpenAI, Claude, Hugging Face, Cursor, which are the kind of platforms that you'll be expected to build in 2025 and beyond? The market has moved on rapidly, but the system design content on the internet is stuck in 2015. This is why I've built the perfect 3 months advanced system design cohort, which is meant for people with some years of experience in the industry who are kind of comfortable with system design concepts, but now need to take it to the next level. Now, if you think you're the right fit, there's a form in the comments and in the description of this video. Fill it up and we'll book some time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So WebSockets, like I mentioned, is great for chats. Everything else, we can use webhooks. Now, the reason I love webhooks is because you're not fundamentally changing anything. It is still an API connection. So essentially, you're not keeping any connection between the client and the server open at any point of time. It's still an API call, but you're just changing the dynamics of how that API call is made. So in a regular way, imagine you're calling a Stripe API. I'm sure all of us have used Stripe Payment Gateway at some point of time. We know how the API works. So here, let's imagine this is a SaaS product that's checking the Stripe API to see if the user that's using the SaaS product has in fact made the payment. And if he's made the payment, only then will he get access to the SaaS product. So the SaaS product wants to keep checking with Stripe. Hey, has he made the payment now? Has he made the payment now? Or did he have any card issues, right? So he's checking again and again. And at 1 p.m., Stripe says that yes, the payment was made, or no, the payment didn't go through, right? So this is how constant polling works. But with webhooks, you don't really open up a connection or keep a connection open between Stripe and the client. The client doesn't do anything. Instead, the client actually creates an API and gives it to Stripe. So instead of the client calling the Stripe API, you submit your own API with Stripe, and Stripe, in fact, ends up calling your API. So as you can see here, it's very clean. The SaaS product didn't have to make any calls to the Stripe API to check the payment status. Instead, whenever the payment actually went through, Stripe actually called the API of the SaaS product, telling it that, hey, this payment for this user actually went through at 1 p.m. And what happens here is the SaaS product actually has some functionality built in based on the event that it receives from Stripe. So the SaaS product now will probably perform some action like giving access to the user or telling the user, hey, your payment went through. Now you can start using these features. So just as a recap, let's look at the presentation. So instead of external services pooling our APIs for updates, instead we can push updates to them. So this is from Stripe's perspective. We instead ask them to give us their API. So the SaaS product is submitting their API, and we will call their API with the event that they are subscribing to. So they would usually have the logic to trigger workflows. So the SaaS product will have some workflows that will get triggered based on the event that it's receiving from Stripe. So this significantly reduces API calls, and we call their API instead of them, which is the SaaS product, calling our API. This is called as a webhook. Now this is a very clean approach, and you're not fundamentally changing anything. You're just changing how the API is called. Instead of you calling the Stripe API, Stripe's engine calls your API. So you're not keeping a connection open. There are no security issues involved. You don't have a problem of scaling it. The stress on the server or Stripe's server gets reduced, and you get your job done very easily. So webhooks is a very clean way of doing it in many use cases where chatting is not involved. For chatting, WebSockets are still the best. So now that we know a lot about how clients and servers interact, we'll take things a step forward with how video calling can work between the client and the server.